லைவ் வந்துருச்சு.
At things in front of us. Hyderabad Hydras Esports Wala WSF. Now, Hyderabad Hydras might have never really dreamt about Esports Wala WSF coming and hitting.
Still favoring the side of Team Soul and BB as the next drop happening towards the side of military base is where my eyes gonna go move.
This is where, I'm also in pursuit for where the boys of INS are. Because
சரியான ரொட்டேஷன்ஸ் போடுறாங்க
they
எல்லாரையும்.
kind of want to take the centers, and in these circles, they usually go for those snake dance. But
ரொட்டேஷன்ஸ்
here they are
ரொட்டேஷன்ஸ்.
blocking the bridge.
ஐ
But
டோன்ட்
a
லைக்
team in front of
ரொட்டேஷன்ஸ்.
us, Nigma Galaxy. We've been talking about them,
நிக்மா கேலக்ஸி
Apollo being
ரொட்டேஷன்ல தான்
one of the
விடுவாங்க
players that
பாப்போம்.
was a recent addition, and ever since he's joined, I think Nigma Galaxy have been playing really well. But if we
எக்ஸலன்ட்
talk
டீம்.
about their top fragger, it has to be MJ, one of the veterans into the scene. We have witnessed him, playing and gaining accolades over the different titles as well. And here he is to prove his mettle as to how he can perform. And Nigma Galaxy have always been sort of a surprise package, and we expect nothing less even today.
One other thing which I love the most about this finals is everybody are playing with the same device, right? So there's not going to be complaints telling that there was a little bit of a you know, havoc in my device and all those things because everybody are put under the same parapet wall. They're going to sit over there, try to face off one another, and we have to see which are those teams who have just made themselves a big name like BB. How much are they going to conquer this? Because ultimately the new pros are the teams which have been working on different devices here and there, whereas the pros themselves, they're always on the higher end of devices, right?
And I'm pretty sure it's nothing less over
கொடூரமா
here
இருக்க
as
போகுது
well,
ஆனா
right?
மேட்ச்.
The IQ Neo 6 is
பாத்தியா இல்லையா
specifically
தலைவன்
catered
2x.
for all you esports enthusiasts. And, well, I mean, ensuring to see some really good action coming along our way in no time. And for now, you talk about Big Brother Esports.
ஸ்ப்ரேலாம் அப்படி வைப்பானுங்கப்பா. அங்க பாரு தலைவன் என்னென்னமோ பண்றான். சாரி. எனிக்மாக்கும் சோலுக்குமா நைஸ்.
Where they really want to station themselves and could be a cause for concern.
Now Avi on the other side starts to get tagged and the information is
போயிட்டு இருக்க
bundled today telling
ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டாங்க.
that there's another team close by. So guys, just better
அவ்வளோதான்.
watch out in all different directions as
எல்லாமே
now
ஆண்ட்ராய்டில்
Nigma
தான் வர்றாங்கன்னு
Galaxy coming in
நினைக்கிறேன்.
from a late rotation as we can see that they're going to be going off that blue marker on the name list itself. But let's see how much that is going to favor them because immediately with few seconds to come there's going to be the next circle forming up which will be predicting most of the fate of these teams, and that is going to be to the dead center yet again. It's going to be two teams having the best spot in the house. One is going to be Team Soul and the other one is going to be Enigma.
The circle again imploding on itself.
எப்படி இருக்கு பாருங்களேன். பாருங்களேன். இவ்வளோ டீம் பாருங்களேன். என்னமா இருக்கும் பாருங்களேன். ஹெச்ஹெச் இங்க இருக்கு. பாதி டீம் நேம் கூட தெரியாது லைவ் போட்டேன். சிக்மா கேலக்சியா இது? ஜி நைஸ். அங்க பாரு ஸ்ப்ரே தான். எஃப்எஸ் எல்லாமே ஒன்றாவே தான் ஆடுறாங்க. நைஸ், நல்லா ஆடுறாங்க. இவ்வளோ கொடூரமாக சளி பிடிச்சிருக்கு. ஏன் ஆடியோ ஒரு மாதிரி இருக்கு? ஸ்ட்ரீம் ஆடியோ. ஃபைட்டாக காட்டுங்கண்ணா, யார்றா? மாறு, கூட்டமாக இருக்காங்க. பஸ் கிளியராக கேட்குதா? ஹலோ? மேண்டி நாக்கு, அடடா, மேண்டி நாக்கு தலை.
That, but eventually Canary falls out with a little bit of a HP as Steve Goblin is going to be the first person to pull out the first blood in this game.
Nothing less expected from the top fragger in the Ico Bmps, as he might be going in for the second one as the cavalry does alive, and maybe Jadu can also be spotted out in the open. Goblin is aware of that but has been taken down by his teammate Hector as Avi decides to go after Hero, and our esports, they are in shambles.
Now, they've walked into the jaws of death, right? It's obvious they're going to get churned. This is not the kind of rotation they would have been looking out for, but let's not forget to see on the other side, HH versus the side of GE. Both of them late into the circle, finally, lock horns with one another, and HH at this point of time, a little bit of an advantage for them because they have all four men still in, as GE has already lost one for themselves.
It's a four circle. You have to make your decisions right if you are really opting for the revive. And GE, of course, have lost out on Knuckle, one of their primary assaulters out here, and that is a reason to be worrying about. But Manya, he's been by far the best player on this team, leading the entire team by example and not by force. But look at Ronnie. He's got his crosshair set. The moment he opens up on his ADS, anything at all. But this is where the worries of or the troubles of Hyderabad Hydras are not yet over. They need to search for a compound, or they need to search for a place where they can take some safe haven for themselves. But Manti, look at him. His vehicle is burning. Vehicles are flipping. Welcome to day number 1, ladies and gentlemen.
As Joker is going to be the one spraying against the side of Maxi and puts him down. Eventually, a follow-up grenade is something we'll be looking out for, because ultimately from far away, there's going to be tags coming in, and eventually enemy is going to be the friend, and that is something which I'll be looking out for.
Oh, it's getting so much more exciting. INS, of course, having lost out on a billion, they certainly cannot accept to let go of Joker, as Cream decides to push over, has been thwarted off by the players of Team Soul as Goblin lies down, as Omega needs to reposition himself. It is going to be Zen OP trying to apply a little bit of a damage, but now he's up for a healing.
Now Scream out of the game. There's going to be a lot of responsibilities on the shoulders of Team BB's Zen OP. Let's see whether that's going to be the case, as
தலைவன் வேற
Hellgod at
லெவல்ல
this point of
போடுறான்
time is
பாரு.
cooking up grenade to
எட்ட தப்பிச்சிட்டு.
perfection, as Hector almost got taken down. Could this be the game for Soul
தலையை
to
third
watch
party
out for? From the side of
வந்துட்டான்
BD,
எனக்கு
another
வேகல.
grenade comes in, perfectly planned, perfect projectile coming in. The follow-up is also coming in. Could this be the one to finish them off? No.
It's just not them, it's also Nigma Galaxy joining the fray. Of course, Wixky is going to get that crucial revive out there, but Akshat also goes down. Curtsy to that grenade, and Hellgod, that's not going to deter him from not trying to push in. Indeed, he goes in. He wants those finishes for himself, but Hector, with all his life, needs to get the best player on board. As Goblin and Omega both out of picture, Hellgod has no idea of the healing happening. The moment he enters the watch, he does get a few clips, but no, indeed, also gets taken away.
Now, this was a point where he could have heard that gunshots coming in from the side of Hector, but eventually has to pay a hefty price for not being too cautious of his surroundings, as Nigma Galaxy is going to get control of one compound, which is pretty much required for them as the circle shifts away to the northern side of the map, favoring the side of OR and GE. This is the fight to watch out for, because the next praise for the side of Team Soul is going to be Nigma Galaxy.
Of course, it could be, as MJ, look at him. He's making those moves. He wants to get in up close and personal. He knows the players of Team Soul are injured, are already bleeding, already two man less. Now, the moment MJ just strikes in, does want to make a few punches in order to not let go of his movements. The sound's not being given away, but this nade could change it all. Has it ricocheted enough? No. A little bit of a damage done on Hector. Needs to patch himself up, but now has an idea of someone that is about to enter inside their compound.
Now, on the other side, 7Cs at this point of time, challenged by the side of Kinetic, as Hydra wants to come and do the third party. Look at the cavalry coming in. It's going to be Dynamite, Jackson, Legend, and Power, all coming in together to pick up all these finishes which have been fought out over here. Kinetic BO is going to be the last man standing at 7Cs. And under.
Oh, they definitely do, but look at BO. The lonesome survivor on the backlines. We have Savitar. He can also play a spoil spot to the party, but now he's kept himself aloof from it. He's waiting for these two teams to battle it out, as Legend has finally managed to knock out Vio and will take his life out, as Hydra somehow are alive, as Nigma Galaxy Apollo on a 1v1 skirmish alongside Akshat. Well, gets taken down as Akshat being the hero for Team Soul for the umpteenth time and saves them from the precipice of death.
Now, this is what I said, the next prey rather than the hunters for the side of Team Soul, because confidently with two men standing show to us yet again why they're one of the teams to watch out for. Hydras on the other side, way far away. I just don't see him anywhere on the map. I don't know whether they've been taken off, but at this point of time, Dynamite is going to be spraying the best of what he can, as Jackson from the outside kind of knows the information of the new T coming in. That's going to be the side of WSF. They have two men standing as of now, 1v2 situation, as Jackson is going to be knows the location point. Finally, Savitar's grenade is going to put an end for him and his team.
I'm wondering how many players are alive at this moment, ladies and gentlemen. We are already running out of breath, and here goes the circle shift and lands into the laps of the players of OR Esports. Now, Esports Wala WSF, they did some bizarre things. They went for a different rotation altogether and still somehow have managed to keep their players alive. But for 7C, I believe it's just that lonesome player, maybe Savitar, who's got 4 finishes already to his name, but he needs to get some position in order to give them a good start to the evening. But for now, Joker, he's got his eyes set on Savitar, trying to explode those doors, but in turn gets taken down from elsewhere.
Now, this is the clutch which we were looking out for, right? Akshat, look at that, using that stairs perfectly to his advantage, where his legs were only visible, and eventually goes in and strikes exactly when required. The final player is where he's going to go in for a reload, come back, wait for him to make the mistake. Once he's visible, sprays it perfectly and clears them off. A 1v4, amazing one coming in. Even though they've gone out on the 11th position, 9 finishes for themselves.
Obviously, a start that all the Soul fans would have wanted. A little bit more of those position points. Well, but we're not going to complain for now, as OR Esports a very promising position, and they know that they have got the boys from INS. All they need to do is get a few more grenades in that particular direction, and it is going to be all kaboom, as Aditya, he has his eyes entirely focused on the players of Global Esports, who might strike in any single moment, but INS,
third party la third party fight irukumo third party panni mudichiranga பண்றாங்க என்ன என்னவே
helpless
பண்ண
as
முடியல
they get thwarted out of the lobby. It is all again down
தல
to
அவன் பாரு
Crazy
10
Soul.
வரல ஆடுறான்
Let's
பாரு
see
அவன்
whether
இங்க
he'll be
பாரு
able to do something crazy, right? Because the last man standing will have a lot of pressure, and that is something very hard to cope up in a circle like this. As Karan also gets taken down. Aru on a different spree altogether. Look at him taking down one player after another. Jelly on the other side already got 3 finishes for
அங்க
himself.
பாரு
8 finishes coming in
ஓவர்
from the side
சரியா
of Team
புடிச்சானுங்க போல
OR,
zone.
looking the strongest with the best position in the lobby right now.
Oh, indeed, they have, right? The only competitors I really feel are going to be the boys
பாரு
from Global
FPP
Esports.
எல்லாம்
A
போடுறானுங்க
little bit of a room and
அங்க
space
போய்
to work
நிக்கவே
around
தனி
with.
பவர்
But
வரும்
not
போல
this lad, ladies and gentlemen.
மேல
Crazy
ஓவர்
Soul
வேற
is
லெவல்
out in the
ஓவர்
open.
ஜெயிச்சிரும்னு
It's the
நினைக்கிறேன் எனக்கு
smokes
தெரிஞ்சு
that is saving him
பாப்போம்
till now. But for how long is the big question? Because any given moment, the other players can also strike in.
இல்ல
Any
இல்ல
given
வேற ஏதோ
moment,
டீம்லாம்
OR
ஜோன்ல
can
இருக்கு ஆனா
overstep
பக்கத்துல
just
பல
a
டீம்
little
ஓவர்
bit
கிட்ட
and
எந்த டீமே
ensure
இல்ல
that finish to his name. Or maybe it could be the boys from Global Esports, but they're on a whole different spree altogether. Now deciding to enter in from the southern side as Invader with a sliver of HP is still alive.
Now Manya on the other side starts off with the grenade as Aditya is still not stopping. The next target for them is going to be the side of WSF as they're taking players down one after another. The teamwork, the composure, the best of the IGL which we thought would be for the tournament is all proving themselves as Invader is going to be the next man with the projectile of the grenade. Pretty far away,
War
but he's
hit
going to be coming
பண்ணிட்டாங்கன்னு
into the
நினைக்கிறேன்
process, getting taken down from the hands of Aditya as Atanki will be pushing forward. No, it's going to be Aditya yet again pushing forward because eventually they want all these finish points inside the lobby.
Oh, certainly they do. Karan needs to get that rest back up, but look at OR Esports. They're playing with fire. They need to get inside the circle, have a really good spread, and this is where Global Esports find that perfect opportunity and enter inside the zone at the
9
right nick
இழுப்பா
of time.
ஓவர்
But for
வேற
OR
லெவல்
Esports, it is going to be a monumental task. The big question is, can they do it, Arka?
I just hope they can, right? Because that's the most important thing for them at this point of time. After so much of hard work, after placing themselves perfectly, the least thing they would want is an error
பாத்து
against
என்னவா
the side of
புரியறாங்க
Team
பாருங்க
GE. They're weakest at this point of time with just 3 men standing. So they have the man advantage as well. All they have to do is hold their ground as one last player
ஜோக்கர்
from the
டீம்ல
side of
3 பேர் ட்ரை
WSF.
பண்ணலாம்ப்பா
Again,
3
this
பேர்
team is
இருக்கீங்க ஏதாவது
proving
ட்ரை
as to
பண்ணுங்க
why
வேற
they
நாக்கு
crawl their way
ஏதாச்சு
inside the circle, inside the finale itself, as the last
அந்த
man
இதுல வேற
Karan will be
2
looking
பேர்
out for
இருக்காங்களா
some more
ஒருத்தவங்க
finishes
ஆமா
in his name.
ஒருத்தவங்க இருக்காங்க
Yeah. Switching to the first person perspective, they try to lob a grenade, but that goes stray. As Jelly, he's got to watch out for these 3 dogs out there, right? The moment they step in, he's going to be done for. But he's going to be relentless. He's going to keep on trying. As
எனக்கு
Aru
தெரிஞ்சது
does have the better
ஆரஞ்சு
of the
கலர் இருக்கா
combo.
பாத்தீங்களா
Look,
ஆரஞ்சு
he
கலரு
is going to be a little bit
esports
sneaky.
வாலா
He's not going to make
அவ
one
அவர்
move
ஏதாவது
in
ட்ரை
corner.
பண்ணலாம்பா
As Atanki doing the
எனக்கு
right
தெரிஞ்சு
thing,
அப்படியே
moving
ஜோன்
inside the
பொறுமையா
beacon.
வந்துட்டு
Does have a smoke,
கடைசியா
doesn't
ஆஃப்டர்
cover.
ஆஸ்டக் எடுக்க
Wants to
ட்ரை
get a
பண்ணலாம்
better
அவரு
vision at where the players of Global Esports are, and still
அது
it
சுட்டி
has
ஏதாவது கோளாறு
no
கொடுத்தாருன்னா
clue
கஷ்டம்
of their exact location.
Now
பூச்சி பேர்
Jelly on
நசி
the other
விட்டுருவாங்க
side, right? This is where resources come into play as well, as if they can loft in proper grenades towards the side of smokes, they might find 1 or 2 knocks for themselves, as Aditya at this point of time is going to be regrouping towards the side of Team OR. Karan having a very good off angle, a blind spot against the side of Team OR. If he can register just 1 finish for himself, which is not going to happen,
யாரா
as GE
கோமாளி
has put an end for
நத்திக்கிட்டாருங்க
him,
ஒரு கிலோ
giving an
தான் செக்யூர்
opportunity for
பண்ணிருக்கலாம்
the side of Team OR to take this
அது
home
ஸ்ட்ரைட்டா மட்டும் தான்
completely,
பார்த்தாரு
as
லெஃப்ட் ரைட்ல
all
பார்க்கல
4 men are inside the circle and spread around in this real estate, which is required for them. As Aditya, he will be the first person to get taken down.
ஐயா
Small mistake might have to be a hefty price that OR Esports might pay, but for Global Esports now it's even Stevens. It is a 3v3 situation, ladies and gentlemen, as Ronnie, he is cooking up that grenade. Is it into perfection? We're just gonna find out. And no, is
நான்
gonna be
நீர்
the
போட்டே
answer,
முடிச்சிருவானுங்க
but
போல
hoping that
ஐயா
Jelly has enough meds to patch himself up. As Atanki, he's got to make the difference. He's
ஆனா
got to be
ஓவர்
lobbing
கிட்ட
those few
ஆமா
grenades and has to ensure
ஏய்
a
குளோபல்
knock
ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ்
for
குட்டி
the
8
players
கில்
of
இருக்கியா
OR Esports to still stand.
பாவம்
Now
ஃபர்ஸ்ட்
this is where
மேட்ச்
the split of G
முடிஞ்சிட்டு
is
பாப்போம்
going to be
இருங்க
coming into picture, right? In the minimap, we can see Manya will be the
யார்
person
ஃபர்ஸ்ட்ல
lurking
இருக்கான்னு
around
பாப்போம்
from the
என்ன
eastern
எல்லாம்
side of the
நமக்கு
map,
தெரிஞ்ச
trying
டீம்
to
எந்த
play
டீமே
as
வரல
safe as possible. As
அது
Ronnie
தெரியும்
strike against the Jelly, it's going to be a
எப்போ
3v3
எப்போ
situation
கொண்டானே
again
தெரியலையே
against the
நம்ம
side
டீம்
of Team OR, as Atanki will be the next man in the crosshairs of all these players, as Manya still far away, looking out for the
I
perfect
support
time.
Soul,
And when he
guys.
strikes, that could
I
be the
would
end
say
of
Soul.
Team OR.
OR Esports are already cornered. Global Esports have taken the driver's seat in the game. All they need to do is find
அங்க பாரு
Atanki
முடிஞ்சி
and end
அவ்வளவுதான்
his
முடிஞ்சி
misery. As there you go, get the final finish, get the first chicken dinner. Global esports are off to
வாத்தலையா
a
வாத்தலையா குளோபல்
blistering
ஸ்பெஸ்
start, ladies
பட்டன்
and
பாய்ஸா.
gentlemen, as we head into the post-match segment powered by Loco. And what a game it has been, right? Changing your drop location, going somewhere entirely you've never been, and despite all odds, still coming out on top.
I mean, I just love the way the final moments of the game was, right? The person who was more composed, but also strategizing, having to move around in that final circle, actually got that winner chicken dinner. Whereas OR, they became even more composed. Like, that was not necessary for them, right? With the man advantage, they could have just moved around. They had vehicles for themselves, they had resources, smokes were also there. I think they wasted a little bit of a time inside the hard cover thinking that, a little bit of a high ground will give them information,
Oh yeah.
but ultimately had to pay a very hefty price.
Of course, it all started with Aditya making that move, right? Now,
Yep.
we did talk about it even during the cast, right? OR Esports were a
யாரோ ஒரு ஆள்
little late
பாக்குறீங்க,
into getting
ஹாய்னு போட்டா
inside the
கொஞ்சம்
circle where Global
சந்தோஷப்படுவேன்.
Esports had already positioned
Yep.
themselves pretty well. Now, this is where Aditya wanted to take the flank, right? This is where he wanted to ensure he got a little bit of a better view. The moment he did that, and he got shot from Ronnie, I believe. And that is the point where, had the players of OR Esports, the others, gotten for a trade off, could be a different story altogether. Now, the entire attention of OR Esports was to get that revive on towards their player, and that is where Jelly also opened up a
Yep.
little bit of an angle, right? That is where Global Esports did thread the needle and managed to secure yet another knock. Two knocks done already. You've got three players well spread out. They just went in and got that final finish, and Atanki was pretty much helpless. But regardless,
Yeah.
OR and GE are off to such a wonderful start.
Now, one other thing which I want to put shed light on is
Yes.
going to be the side of team who are not having the right kind of throwables in the final circle itself. In case Jelly had a grenade with him or a
சரி
molly.
கைஸ், நான் முடியல. நான் போய் ஏதாவது